So Bronny James needs to permanently go back to the G League. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Bronny James needs to permanently go to the G League. It is like, it's very obvious that he is just there to sell jerseys and not play basketball. He's back to playing 0 minutes per game, giving him 0 points through the season so far. And he has, like, the G League starting soon. I understand him being with the team the whole time, but you've got to send him permanently to G League. Just, there's no reason for him being a two-way. There's no reason for him sitting on the end of the bench with the Lakers. He needs to go and just play in the G League. Like, it is, they are playing their first game on the 9th of November. The G League's South Bay Lakers announced their training camp roster, where they've Jace Carter, and they've got some decent players. They got Drew Timmy. So, and they've plenty of rookies. He obviously doesn't need to do go through training camp. The training camp tipped off last week. But at the end of the day, like, he's got, 8th of November is their first game. He's got to go and just play in the G League for the rest of the year. Like, he's taking up a roster spot in the Lakers for no reason. It's not even to appease LeBron anymore, because LeBron wants out, it seems. At this stage, I don't know what they're doing. Like, I don't think Alex Antetokounmpo, as much as people want to criticize Alex Antetokounmpo, I don't think he's on the Bucks roster, is he? And by the way, Bronny's way better than Alex. Just letting you guys know. Bronny's way better than Alex. But at the end of the day, like, Thanasis is getting DMPs. And you might be saying, oh, let's get Thanasis to the G League instead. And I'm like, there's a big difference between a end of the bench vet, who in Thanasis' case, you could put Thanasis on for 3 minutes and he will do a job. I think we can all be, I think even Thanasis haters will say that. Is that, like, look, Thanasis isn't this great player or anything. But if you put Thanasis in the game and you tell Thanasis, go, like, not focus at all on offense, your job is to not focus on offense, but just go in, play lockdown defense for 2.5 minutes, and then you're coming out, and that's the only 2.5 minutes you're playing the game. You know Thanasis can do a job. And you trust Thanasis. We saw it at times for Milwaukee, like, in their championship run. Like, they trust Thanasis there are certain situations where you trust Thanasis. But then you've got, like, a Bronny where it's like, he doesn't have the years of experience to build up that trust. Like, we can't forget how good Thanasis was. He was, like, I'm pretty sure he was all defensive team in the G League. Like, he clawed his way. He clawed his way from the G League back to Greece, to the NBA. Like, everyone talks about Nepo hires and Nepo minutes, where I'm like, man, Thanasis clawed his way to the league. Like, Thanasis made the NBA when Giannis, he was drafted by the Knicks when Giannis wasn't even, when Giannis was a bench player. He was drafted to the NBA while Giannis was a bench player because of how well he was playing. And how well he was playing overseas. Or was it the G League? I think it might have been the G League where he got drafted out of. But, like, he was there before Giannis was Giannis. Alex Antetokounmpo, whatever, he's going to play in the G League. He's going to play in the G League. The Milwaukee Bucks signed him. I don't know what they were thinking. He's going to play in the G League. But Bronny James has got to do it. If he wants to ever be an NBA player, he's got to claw his way. And because he's not that he's not talented enough. If he was 6'8", he'd be talented enough. He's about 6'1", and I think it's really hard for a 6'1.5" two guard who can't shoot and is a fine defender. Like, Bronny James would lock down every single one of us, but, like, at the NBA level, he's a passable defender. And not only that, like, it's hard to be just a stopper in the NBA because stoppers don't really exist because of how good offensive players have become, how good offensive systems have become. Like, if you can stop, if you're out there and it's like, okay, yeah, you can stop your man, but then it's like, okay, yeah, so I can stop my man, but that doesn't change the fact that I can't make up for the weaker guard that they're going to put in the pick and roll every possession. So that's one of those things where it's like they attack weak points better, so that a lot of players' 1v1 defensive ability isn't as important anymore. And he's passable as a 1v1 defender. I think he's very poor as an offside defender. Like, you can say what you want about Bronny, but I think he's very poor at that. I think he's not as bad as Bryce at it. I think both of LeBron's kids have a real problem with staring at the ball. Like, I don't think they cut well. I don't think they, like, whatever. Like, there's no point comparing it. Like, Bronny is a better NBA player than Bryce is at the D1 level. Like, Bryce James was the 8th man from his high school team, was a 4-star recruit. The starters, like, the best players in his high school team were 2-star recruits, and he was a 4-star recruit as the 8th man. Shorter, less athletic, shot worse. And he's just, like, if you're watching him play for Arizona, like, the man is a D3. I don't even think he's a D2 level player. He's a guy who could be who by the end of year 4 might break a D2 rotation. Like, and that's, like, again, that's not a bad basketball player. You could go play pro in the freaking league I played in, but at the end of your college career. But, like, it is what it is. But Bronny he needs to go in the G League. It's another DNP. It's another DNP for a player that I do feel is doesn't have NBA potential, but has potential to be a, like, really good pro player somewhere. And I'm just not sure. I'm not sure he wants it at the same time. I'm not sure he wants to play at a level that he's good enough to play at. Because I think in general, when it comes to Bronny, is that the level that Bronny's at is, like, it's a level where you're just not going to probably ever be an NBA player, but you can play Euro Cup. You can go and play in, you might be able to play in Australia. You might be able to play in a lot of these other countries. You might be able to go and play in China. You might be able to go play a year in the Latvian Estonian league and bank on them giving you a Latvian passport. Like, that's one of the things that Bronny's the type of guy that is, like, will try to get a passport, should be out there traveling the world and trying to get a passport and become a naturalized citizen so that they can you can play as a European. Go over, play a year or two in Europe. Go down the Jordan Davis route. Go down the I can't remember who the other guy was. Basically, because we played him all the time, Azerbaijan. We played them. We've beaten them the last couple of times. But they brought out a former NBA player against us. Azerbaijan, I'm not joking. Every single game they play, they bring a new NBA player. They bring a new Dante Hall. He played in the league. They will bring a new American every single game. And if you get the Azerbaijan passport, Jordan Davis has one, Dante Hall has one, JC Carroll had one. On the women's side, Tiffany Hayes has one. Just go play in Europe. Go get your Azerbaijan passport and play as a local in all the European leagues. Go play a couple of games for Azerbaijan. Go play against Cyprus or something. But, like, look, that's the level. I'm talking about Jordan Davis. I'm talking about Dante Hall, who are way better players than Bronny James. And, like, they've had to go down a route where, in order to even play in the leagues they're playing in overseas, because maybe they're not good enough to be there as an import, they have to go and get a passport from a country who will give anyone a passport so that they can play as a local. Like, that's kind of the route basketball tends to go down for a player of Bronny James' level. But the fact is that he's now probably going to fade into obscurity and retire soon. And it's a pity because I'd love to see Bronny James play ball for as long as possible. And it's just not going to be in the NBA. It's as simple as that. It's not going to be in the NBA. So anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.